Yeah, so I was really shocked.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so hey guys, so apparently the hits just keep coming for us. After a rough start, we've hit another, I don't know what you want to call it, bump in the road. Yeah. So we had gone to Glacier National Park, and it was our first day in the park. We were on a beautiful hike around Grinnell Lake, and the weather was gorgeous. The hike was beautiful, right?
Yeah, the scenery is breathtaking.
Yeah. I mean, blue skies, pretty warm weather considering we're up in Montana, and I mean, just gorgeous scenery. We got to see Grinnell Lake, and we luckily didn't see any bears because I was super worried about bears.
We had a bear spray anyway.
We did have our bear spray, but I really didn't want to like come face to face with one.
I wish I would, but...
God, that's so weird.
What? Bears are cute. Sure, I don't want to be his dinner or lunch, but...
All right. Well, we didn't see a bear. We hiked Grinnell Lake, and after that, we decided to go on and hike around, actually all the way down to the actual lake. So we started to head back. You have to cross this little suspension bridge, and we were kind of joking because it's one person on the bridge at a time, and it's very... Tippy. And we were joking that it's like walking drunk. And I went on the bridge first, and Greg was on the bridge, and he kind of made a joke that I walk better drunk than he does.
Yeah, she does.
And then I continued on, and then...
I heard a pop. So as I was stepping off the bridge, basically I slipped and heard a pop. From there, I was basically sitting on my butt. My ankle was hurting me, and yeah.
I mean, literally by the time I turned around, he was down. I heard something, turned around, saw him down, and I just couldn't believe it because Greg is never the person who gets hurt. I am always the person who gets hurt. Always.
That for sure.
Yeah, so I was really shocked. We were kind of left there to figure out how to get him from where we were to move down the trail. I think first thing you tried was like hobbling with a walking stick?
Yes. Which was, I mean, it was alright. I did what, 1.5 miles, 2 miles?
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
From the bridge to the camp. Yeah,
no,
I think there was a mile.
I'll look up actually how much we did, and I'll put it right here in the video.
Yeah, I think I did that though.
But I mean, we tried like me kind of like holding him and him kind of leaning on me. I was carrying both of our packs, one on the front, one on the back. But it was hard going, and everyone that was passing us was like, "Do you need help?" And we're like, "Yeah, can you let a ranger know?" And so we had hiked the whole way in and decided that we would try to get him to this boat dock, basically because you could take a boat halfway. So we thought we'd make it to that boat dock.
Yes.
And get a boat to take him back. As we were on our way to the boat launch, a storm rolled in out of nowhere. It had been a beautiful day.
It was, and yeah, out of nowhere it started raining, and thundering, and before you know it, huge hail. Hail like I had never actually seen before in my life. And we finally made it to the little shelter by the boat dock, and we were there for a couple minutes, and a ranger came around the corner and was like, "Hey, we heard what happened. Do you guys want someone to come and carry him out, or do you want to just take the boat?" And we're like, "Oh, well, we'll just take the boat." And then she says, "Well, there's a small, very small hill between this boat and the next boat. But if you can get up this little hill, you'll be fine." So, sure, let's do it.
And we met Jerry in the shelter, who would become very important in this story. He would be one of the guys who would really change our ability to get up this short hill.
And on and off the boat.
So yeah, so it's hailing, and it is super slippery to get on the boat. Jerry and I are on each side of Greg, kind of like half carrying him, half I don't know, being a human crutch. And there's one person to get on the boat ahead of us, and she falls. She hits the boat dock, and it is so slippery and so icy that she just wipes out.
Yeah. So from there, we were extra careful.
Yeah.
So Jerry helped me to go on the boat.
Because to get on the boat, you have to like go up a couple steps and then down a couple steps. It's not just
Yeah.
like straight on the boat.
Yeah.
So when we arrived at the dock to exit the first boat, we met Ben, who worked for the boat company and would become very important in this story, like Jerry. Jerry and Ben decided that they would, just assist Greg up this hill. Greg started by wanting to just hop with their help, which was ridiculous. It looked
Well,
ridiculous.
It worked for.
It did not
some
work.
time.
So then Ben wanted to fireman carry Greg.
Yeah. I mean, it's carried me like a bag of potato, I guess.
Oh yeah, like a bag of potatoes is how he was trying to explain it, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know, maybe not.
But then they convinced Greg to let them basically lift him up and carry him. And that is actually what got them over the hill and worked the best.
Yes. Thanks, guy. No, I'm not quite that light. So when we arrived to the second boat, everybody was waiting on us, and everybody started clapping. So yeah, that was nice. I really, really appreciated those two
Yeah.
guys to be there and helping me all the way from one boat to the other. Without them, I don't know if I would have made it.
I don't know what we would have done without, the kindness
Yeah.
of strangers, honestly.
So thanks again, guys. I
Yeah.
really appreciated it.
Yep. So I went, got the truck, and we headed back to the camper.
I basically spent the rest of the evening or the day, my leg up, elevated, trying to.
Basically,
Reduce
rest,
the
ice,
swelling,
elevate.
yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, we had ice and ice packs and stuff like that. So we wanted to wait a couple days to pack up. We had taken the camper off the truck, which we don't always do, and so we kind of wanted to give him a couple days just to see how he was feeling. My gut, I thought it was broken.
Yeah, I mean, it was not painful, luckily, unless I put obviously pressure on it and stuff like that. But yeah, but as soon as I removed my shoes, right,
Oh.
my foot started to become
Yeah.
huge.
Huge.
And
Yeah, because we didn't mention that. We left his shoe on specifically because I knew that if it was broken and we took his shoe off, it was actually going to be harder for him to kind of hobble out.
yeah,
So we waited a couple days before we packed up and just kind of gave it a few more days to see how he was feeling. We did have a small ankle brace that I had thrown in the camper before we left that I had from an ankle injury years ago. So we put that on him, and I think that really helped. But eventually we did go get an x-ray.
and sure enough, the pop is due to my
Fracture.
ankle the fracture of my ankle.
Yeah. A fracture is a break, which Greg wanted to argue with me for a good
Yeah,
2 hours. A fracture wasn't a break.
I thought that the fracture was just a crack, but yeah, after reading the paper that they gave me, it was like, a fracture is a break. Okay. So I was like, all right,
So it's broken.
I broke my ankle.
But there was a bright side.
Yes, no surgery. And a second right side, no cast.
No cast. Well, an air cast.
Yeah, which is much better than a real cast. At least
Yeah.
I can take it off, can shower, I can.
Yeah, and just the fact that there's no surgery.
That's a win.
I mean, he would have been off it for so long with surgery. And I mean, we were looking at like 6 months. I've seen people with ankle injuries, struggling 9 months later. And when she said there was no surgery required, I was so relieved.
I feel very, very, very lucky
Yeah.
that it's just a small fracture, and that I can just wear this cast for 6 weeks and I should be
Good to go.
good to go. Right, you?
It obviously does impact our plans. We
Yeah.
were going to go to Canada and go to Banff and Lake Moraine, and we had a lot of hiking and things planned. And there's just no point to go up there right now. We can't hike, we can't bike.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, we had so many plans,
Yeah.
so many hikes plans. I'm a little bit bummed about it, but
But
It is
at
what
the
it is.
same time, again, happy that it's not surgical.
Yes.
I don't know. I think this would be a whole different video if he was having surgery, because that would have really hurt us in a lot of ways. And so I'm grateful for that. So I think, we've made the decision to come back to Utah, which is a state that we really, really loved and didn't get enough time in. And we're kind of going to, how do you want to say it? Settle down for a week at a time.
Yeah.
Week to 10 days at a time, which, is a little bit of a bummer, but we're going to be working on a pretty cool project during this next 5 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean we are in a very, very nice area, and we are very fortunate. So yeah, it's gonna be all good.
Should we tell them what the cool project is?
I don't know. Should we? Why don't we keep it a
Keep it a secret?
yeah,
All right, we'll tell you what the cool project is next time.
yeah, next video.
The cool project that's going to take 5 weeks in Utah, out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. All right,
All right.
so that's it. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah,
Well,
it's my left foot.
yeah, left foot. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe so you can see what our big project is coming up. And yeah, if you like the video, comment, let us know. And yeah, that's it. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.